I think one of the impending crises we've got right now is that these kids are getting great services, they're getting fantastic services, and they're getting a lot of services.
Mm-hmm.
The issue I see is we're getting these providers that only work with kids are now transitioning them, and we work with adults, obviously, all the way up to 80, but
Mm-hmm.
when we get those folks, they are not prepared for moving from 35 hours to now 2.
Yeah.
And they don't have the functional skills, they don't have the,
And they're scared.
they might be able
Sometimes.
to read and they might have all the academic stuff, but they don't have how to ride the bus, they don't know job skills, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking that and we suddenly have a lot less hours. I think that's going to be quite a dilemma. I think the only way that's really going to get fixed is as these activist parents who help vote to get their kids these services follow their child through this transition to adulthood and vote to get more funding, because that's the issue right now. There's also the issue of reinforcement. Like you teach a child to say his first word, really salient, really powerful reinforcer. With adults, they might be slower coming, they might be
Aggressive.
harder to get.
And
It might reduce it. He might slap his staff less, So it's not as like tangible. But for me, I like the idea of going to work with an adult every day because you have no idea what you're going
Well,
into.
and we were trained with
Versus
adults.
the table stuff. Yeah, I mean, my initial work, as opposed to doing the same thing every day. I'm gonna get my reinforcers. You ready? Oh, touch red. Good job. As opposed to, hey, how are you doing? I heard you had an incident last night. Let's talk about that, or let's look at your programming. Or it's just different. It's different every day.
Well, in the old days, all the adults were institutionalized, and so we came out of that age, and now they're in the community, and that's going to be an opportunity for a lot of behavior analysts to learn those skills and to be able to transition from working with a kid to an
I
adult.
remember how powerful a reinforcer would be if we got somebody at the institution transition into the community and
we
had
do
a
that now.
successful.
We
I
do
know
it now.
To me, that's just a very powerful reinforcer.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of the workforce right now is experiencing that reinforcement because they're teaching a kid to talk, which is a powerful reinforcer.
And they don't have an opportunity, but if they come work for us or you, we present that opportunity, and some, they learn to love it.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's rewarding.
some may not. I mean, you're talking about, I've had applicants that say, I only want to work with children this tall that won't bite or scratch me.
Yeah, that devalues.
And I say, it's not, we're not the place for you. You need to work somewhere else. But
there's so many reasons why you should be able to
all
do that.
across the lifespan. Because what we have as a field has something to contribute to every leg of the lifespan. It's not like, oh, you're 4, what I do doesn't work anymore with you. We need to get you off somewhere else because behavior analysis stops working when they turn 18.
You get 2 years, you graduate, and you're done.
Yeah.
It's not like that. No, because adults, they need vocational skills, they need residential
Self-care.
skills. They have to learn to be, independent. And a lot of providers don't have a service program that has a dignity and respect component to that. So that's another issue is you're treating my son like a child.
And some of that, because that's all their training was. But if you go to, we want to teach these adults now to go into a fast food restaurant and their behavior is responded to by the general community without somebody with any special training. Like we've taught them to respond, and they've learned how to respond and communicate their needs and wants in a way that is universally acceptable. You don't have to be their special staff person that understands what he's saying.
Yeah, that's dignity and respect.
Yeah, and then you get the community to recognize that and not,
You have to folks have to learn to recognize that could be rewarding to see that.
I think they have to contact them. So you're like, you have to take some adults on your caseload. We do that with everybody.
You have to take a risk.
Just because they're 21 and no longer 20, just because a date on the calendar passed, doesn't mean what we do doesn't suddenly doesn't work. The funding changes for sure.
Well, it's highly rewarding too to see progress. When you've got a guy who was
It's
in
rewarding
an
for us.
institution,
For us.
2 years later he has his own apartment.
Job, yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's what's great.
That's the powerful reinforcement that's available. It's just
and the
a lot of work.
parents still have it. They just love to see. They never dreamed that their kid could be that independent.
Yeah.